I feel bad in saying this, but the truth is the truth. When it comes to Canelo Alvarez versus Charlo, the truth is Canelo can't win this fight. Now hear me out. He can win in the ring. Sure, he can get a knockout, he can get a decision, but in the eyes of public or in public opinion, there's nothing to be gained for him in this fight. See, if he knocks out Charlo, the conversation will be, well, of course he did. He fights at 168. Charlo moved up to 168 from 154. So what else was he supposed to do? If he wins a 12-round decision versus Charlo, then it's going to be he needed to go 12 rounds with Charlo, who's a smaller guy coming up 2 weight classes. Canelo, he must be done. And if he loses a decision, then how do you lose a decision to Charlo? Like, you're supposed to be pound for pound king. He's a smaller guy, and if somehow he gets knocked out by Charlo, then the conversation becomes you got knocked out by a guy who coming up from 2 weight classes. See, there's no route for Canelo to get credit or to win or gain anything in this fight. And as a fan of boxing, that is unfortunate. See, Charlo can easily make this weight. He's going to make the weight with no problem at all and probably come into the ring, quite honestly, bigger than Canelo Alvarez. And yet, because we said, oh, he fought at 154, the most public is going to say, well, Canelo should win this fight. But it's not that simple, and I think we need to give Canelo more credit for taking fights like this when you really have nothing to gain in the eyes of the public and you're not making more money for this fight because it's not a big money fight against a big top-notch opponent. This is really about just taking on the fights of saying, hey, this is a guy that wants to fight. This is a guy who's skilled. I'm going to go fight him. See, Charlo could win this fight. He is skilled enough to win this fight. And if Canelo is as off or is as aged as he appeared to be in his last few fights, then Charlo's going to come in here and do some real damage versus Canelo. Because if you remember the John Ryder fight, John Ryder was landing punches and giving Canelo fits. Now the Canelo diehards will tell you it's because of the hand injury and Canelo's finally 100%. And even Canelo himself is coming out and telling you, I'm 100% now. I was able to train 100%. But I still say, man, it's unfortunate that the general public will look at this fight as here's a guy who should win for these reasons. And even if he does win, we're not going to give him any credit. It's not what it's about. It's about having great fights. And when you have the storyline of Charlo moving up 2 weight classes to take on this immense challenge, if he wins, he deserves a lot of credit. If Canelo wins, he deserves credit because he fought somebody who he was going to gain nothing from beating, but who presented a lot of challenges for him. I think this is a challenge for Canelo regardless of weight because I think Charlo is bigger. He's taller and he's probably going to outweigh Canelo. Now, how do I see this fight going? I'm going to go with Canelo, and I'm going to go with Canelo in dominating fashion. I think there is something to be said for being here doing that. Not only is this stage going to be by far the biggest stage Charlo has been on, but Canelo does little slick things like his ring walks are exaggerated and dramatic and long, leaving the fighter to stand in the ring waiting for him to get to the ring, which I think is going to throw off kind of the timing of Charlo, because you warm up in the locker room, you walk out, you get in the ring, the other guy comes in, and then you get ready to fight. I think this prolonged wait is going to be something that Charlo is going to have to adjust to. I also think that Canelo has been there fighting bigger guys before. He's not going to be impressed or affected, in my opinion, by the power of Charlo, because I don't think Charlo hits as hard as a 175-pounder like Bivol or even Kovalev, even though Kovalev didn't use his power to the full extent. But I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying. Canelo's been in there with big punchers before. I don't think he's really going to be that phased or affected or surprised by the power of Charlo. But I do think Charlo is in there with a much bigger power puncher than he is accustomed to fighting in Canelo. So I think Canelo is going to come in there and kind of prove to be a little too strong, a little too skilled, a little too advanced in terms of his boxing resume, his boxing repertoire, and his tool bag. I think he dominates Charlo. I think this fight will end in a stoppage. I don't think Charlo gets knocked out cold. I don't think he gets knocked down with a 10 count. I think the ref is going to step in and stop it somewhere around round 7 or 8, because I think Canelo is going to go in there and press early and try to do damage early. I don't think Charlo is going to be able to hold up. What are your thoughts? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about this fight, and who are you going for, who are you rooting for, and how do you think the fight will end? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll catch you guys next time.